So hello again everyone, and welcome to the back garden yard. Today is an exciting day because today we're harvesting the sweet potato slips that I have been carefully growing ever since I got one sweet potato slip and overwintered it last winter. And I've shown in this series how I was going to create dozens of sweet potato slips. And so now today I'm going to actually go ahead and get these rooting, and in about a week I'm going to plant them in their final place. So let's take one more look at the row of sweet potato slips here. And these were all came from one sweet potato slip that I harvested. So let's take a look now at this potato slip. And here it is. And you can see that it has grown out very, very nicely and into this pot. And so what I've got to do is I've got to go ahead and get a container, and I'm going to dig this up, and I'm going to put this in the container and let it run. And so what you can see is that this sweet potato that was just one slip has now got many different growing ends coming up on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to literally just take it out of the dirt, and we're going to put it into another pot, half of it, and the other half we'll put back into this, and we will have doubled the amount of slips we've got, plus we're going to have more spots for them to come out and grow. Okay folks, so I've got them all planted. Now I'm going to give them their final watering. So now I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to harvest these and prepare them and root them so that I can plant them for my sweet potato crop this year. And let's go over and I will show you now what I'm preparing. Today I am cutting water bottles. And why am I cutting these water bottles? Well, I am making rooting containers for the sweet potatoes. That's right, we're making rooting containers for the sweet potatoes. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just cutting these, and then I'm going to take the top and place it inside the container. So I'm placing the cut top down into the container, and the reason I'm doing that is so that I'll have a nice sturdy container to root my sweet potato slips in. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these up, and then we're going right on over to the sweet potatoes and take a look at what I'm doing. So here's my collected rainwater, and here's my containers that I made. So now I'm just going to literally fill them up about 3/4 full with the rainwater like this. And of course I'll cut the camera off as I do this, but I just wanted to show you where I'm getting my water from. Okay, so now I have filled all these containers with rainwater, and it's time to go back to the sweet potato patch and get the slips. Now, sweet potatoes are one of the easiest plants to root there is. So what I'm going to do, of course, is I'm going to pull one of these up, and I'm going to look and see where little roots have come out. And when you see that, then you know that one's a good slip to root. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut this slip. I'm going to cut it about right here. And then I'm literally going to trim off this little slip that's coming out and this little slip that's coming out here. And then I'm going to leave this leaf and this here to be the slip. So I'm going to cut this one off about right here. All right, and then I'm just going to literally place it into the first jar, like that. And that's one of the dozens of slips that I'm going to harvest. Now, in my hand, I have another one that has absolutely no roots on it, but that's okay. I'm going to clip off that one, and then I'm going to clip off this one, and I'm going to clip this off down a little lower, and I'm going to put it in the same jar as the other one. So I've got 2 in there. I've got 12 of these, so if I were to get 3 in each of my little water bottles, that would be 36. And of course, that's the goal, is to get dozens of slips, and I'm sure I'm going to get them. All right, so I'm going to continue with this same plant, and I see a little root there, so I'm going to cut this one right here. All right, and then I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to cut this off. And let's see, I think I'll go ahead and cut this one right here. Okay, and here's slip number 3 for the first jar. And there we go. And then I've got left this piece, and once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this part and this part, and I think I'll go ahead and even cut off this part. I'm trying to leave them at least about 3 or 4 inches long. There we go. And then I'll put this one into the next jar, down in the water for rooting. Okay, so I think you see I've already gotten 4 slips, and I haven't hardly even started, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and go through here, and of course, I don't know why I just tossed this one aside. It's a perfectly viable, good slip. We're going to cut that one off, that one off, that one off, leave the end, and we're going to drop it down here for number 2 in this jar. There we go. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is see if I can pull up another one that might have a few more already prepared roots. Let's come down this way. And yeah, this one looks good, and let's see how it looks when I pull it up. There we go. I see roots coming out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I'm going ahead and cut it right here. There we go. So it's now you could go ahead and just plant this today if you like, but I'm going to plant them all the same day. So anyway, so what I want to do, even though it's got all these roots, is I'm going to go ahead and cut these leaves off here. And I'm literally going to make this one a little longer. So I will cut, I actually want to leave those leaves, so I'm going to cut it right here. And get the dirt off that slip. This is what I'm going to drop into the jar. put it in a new jar since it's so big. Probably should have cut more of the leaf off, but that's okay. And he's down in there. Okay, so anyway, let me continue, and I will be right back once I get a lot more of these processed. Now here's one of the original purple sweet potato pieces that I put into the ground, and as you see, I buried them as I planted them, and they've all rooted out now into slips. So I've got here a slip, here a slip, here a slip, and here a slip, and here's a slip, and here's a slip, and here's a slip, and then of course get just a little piece of this root. And here's the last slip. So from that one little piece, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I got 6 nice slips from that one piece. And of course this could probably be replanted if you wanted to, and it'd probably make more slips, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to put these down into the containers. Okay folks, so I have finished harvesting at least 3 dozen slips out of this patch, and there's probably 3 dozen slips left. So out of one slip, it's looking like I got about 6 dozen slips that I can harvest and plant. I don't think I'm going to need that many, so we'll probably end up cutting these leaves off and using the leaves and stems and soups and things, and then these leaves are the ones that I trimmed today, and of course we're not going to throw that away. I'm going to just take them inside, wash them, and I've already got a soup started, and they'll go in that soup. Delicious addition to a soup. And then this is what I ended up getting. Let's see if I can pick this up and show it. So this is what I ended up getting, and there's at least 3 slips per container. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over here and I'm going to place it under this persimmon tree, and that way it can root over here without getting exposed to the hot midday sun, but it'll still get some afternoon sun. And it's only going to be a week, and then I'm going to be back and I will plant all these into the place that I'm going to plant my sweet potatoes. Now I've got an interesting spot picked out for these. Hopefully it'll be one that the moles and voles cannot get into. So I think you're going to really enjoy seeing the results of this rooting, and then what I do to plant my sweet potatoes this year. So please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that way when this video comes out, you will be one of the first to see it. And I'm also going to make a garden update. The garden is going crazy right now, growing so nicely. and I'm gonna make my update this week. And the other thing I want you to know is you don't really have to root these potato slips. You can cut them off and put them directly into the wet ground, and they will usually survive. You'll get, you know, 75–80% survival rate planting just the slips without even having them rooted. But I like to root them for about a week at least, and that way then that gives my survival rate up to about 95–100%. And so that's what we're doing here. And I'll be back to show you how I take these rooted roots out of these containers and put them into the growing place that I have selected for my sweet potatoes. So please like and subscribe if you will, and we will see you on the next video.